Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Football. It's a fine Monday morning here. Going to talk more football as usual. I'm your host, Selassie Fiaoyi. Today I'm going to talk to you about performances of Ghanaian players abroad, amazing fixtures. Over the weekend, there was FA Cup action. Manchester City and Watford, we know, are now the finalists. There was the Normalization Committee Special Competition Match Day 3. Hearts of Oak are still struggling to get some wins together. They suffered their second loss in 3 matches. Asante Kotoko bounced back with a 3-0 win over Techiman 11 Wonders to take them on top of Premier A. Some Ghanaians took part in some actions, and most notably, Michael Essien made his debut for his new club in Azerbaijan, SAIBAL FC, and also Ekuban is continuing his exploits with Trabzonspor. He scored a beautiful goal over the weekend, and Albert Adomah making a name for himself in the championship. He scored a goal again from the substitutes bench. He came on as a substitute and netted a goal for his Aston Villa side. So as usual, if you're new to the channel, I advise you to subscribe to this channel and get more updates on videos I post here. So I'll just jump right into it as usual. I'll start off from England. Huddersfield took on Leicester City. Yes, Huddersfield versus Leicester City was the first game of the weekend, and Huddersfield lost 4-1 to Leicester City. We all know Daniel Amate is with Leicester City. He's still not back from injury. I brought you a news over the weekend where coach Brendan Rodgers revealed that the Ghanaian might be out for the rest of the season, and that spells doom for Daniel Amate and his future with Leicester City. Daniel Amate, I don't know when he'll be back. I hope he's back in time for AFCON, but it's looking like he might miss AFCON 2019. As and when I get more updates, I'll let you guys know. Remember, the draw for the AFCON 2019 is this Friday. So my next game, and it's Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. So yes, we all know for Newcastle we have Christian Atsu. Christian Atsu came on in the 90th minute for Newcastle. They had already lost by then from a Milivojevic penalty. For Crystal Palace, Jordan Ayew was an unused substitute for Crystal Palace, and also Jeffrey Schlupp played a full 90 minutes for Crystal Palace. He's been a mainstay in this Crystal Palace team, and I think Coach Roy Hodgson trusts him very much in this Crystal Palace team. To my next game, and it's in the Championship. Hull City took on Reading. We have Andy Yadom. Yes, Andy Yadom's Reading lost miserably to Hull City 3-1. He was in the squad that lost this game, unfortunately. Andy Yadom could not take part in the international friendlies because of injury, but he's back now with Reading. But unfortunately, they lost 3-1. To my next game, and it's Sheffield Wednesday versus Aston Villa, and my oh my, it's Albert Adomah making a name for himself in the championship. He came on once again as a substitute and scored a goal for Aston Villa. It was quite interesting that I said Albert Adomah, I don't know if he's in Kwesi Appiah's plans. I don't know if Kwesi Appiah has been watching him. I have no idea. I think this guy is worth considering for the Black Stars in upcoming AFCON 2019. He's doing things in the championship, and I don't think it can be overlooked. We need the best for the AFCON 2019. I think this guy right now, based on form, is one of them, and he should be looked at by coach Kwesi Appiah if he's not already looking there. Andy Yadom, Albert Adomah is doing wonders in the championship, and he needs to be looked at seriously. He scored a nice goal over the weekend, coming on as a substitute in the 71st minute. I move on to Spain. Yes, to Spain. Barcelona took on Atletico Madrid. These are the first and second place teams in the La Liga, and it was a battle whether Barcelona could stretch the lead any further, or Atletico Madrid could cut down the points to 5 points with 7 games to go. And the answer was Barcelona stretched the lead. They beat Atletico Madrid 2-0. A Diego Costa red card was something that Atletico Madrid did not see coming. There was a red card to Diego Costa, and they played majority of the game with 10 men, and even with 11 men against Barca, you are disadvantaged in a way. And come to talk of 10 men, they lost 2-0 for Barcelona. Once again, Kevin Prince Boateng warmed the bench. He could not play any part in this game. He was a bench warmer in this game. He was an unused substitute for FC Barcelona. With Atletico Madrid, Thomas Partey played a full 90 minutes for Atletico Madrid as he continued his fine displays. Unfortunately, it couldn't get him a goal or an assist or help his team to get a point at least in this game. They lost 2-0 and Barca have stretched the lead at the top to 11 points. So my next game is Deportivo Alaves versus Leganés. So Deportivo Alaves took on Leganés. It ended in a 1-1 draw. Both teams shared the spoils. Mubarak Wakaso came on in the 75th minute as a substitute for Deportivo Alaves. So to my next game is Levante versus Huesca. Levante took on Huesca and the game ended in a 2-2 draw. Rafael Dramina, who plays for Levante, was injured and he did not take a part in this game. He was not part of the 18-man squad due to injury. Rafael Dramina is not having the best times at Levante. I don't think he's in contention for AFCON 2019 based on his current form and his non-selection issues with Levante at the club level. To my next game, Albacete Balompié versus Alcorcon. Albacete Balompié versus Alcorcon. They travel to Alcorcon and happily for us, Sule Ali Muntari was part of this game. He played 64 minutes for Albacete Balompié. Yes, Albacete Balompié. Sule Muntari was in the squad. He played 64 minutes before he was substituted. His team won the game 1-0 and I'm really happy for him. Sule Muntari getting a run out. A lot of people calling for him to be called up to the Black Stars and I'm happy he's getting playing time. This will help Coach Kwesi Appiah assess him much better. I hope he keeps on playing for Albacete Balompié so we have a good feel about his readiness or his fitness or his form, what kind of form he's in. So if he deserves to be called up, he will definitely and surely be called up. So I move on to Italy from Spain, and Frosinone took on Fiorentina. Raman Chepsa was in action for Frosinone. He played the full 90 minutes as his team beat Fiorentina 1-0. That's a great result for Frosinone. They have beaten Fiorentina 1-0 and I think it's a positive result for them. Raman Chipsa was in action for them. Now Udinese took on Empoli over the weekend and Nicolas Opoku had a stellar performance in defense for Udinese. His team beat Empoli 3-2. Now Efriye Akwa was injured for Empoli, so he was not even in the squad that took on Udinese, but Nicolas Opoku standout performance there for Udinese as they beat Empoli 3-2. My next game is Inter Milan versus Atalanta. Kojo Asamoah back into the team for his team after a man of the match performance last weekend against Lazio. This time against Atalanta, he kept a clean sheet, which is part of the defender's job, but his team had to share the spoils 0-0 with Atalanta. So the game ended in a 0-0 draw. But Kojo Asamoah had a great game. He kept his clean sheet as a defender. That is what you always hope for. And if the win comes, it's even a much more better. To my next game, and it's Lazio. They took on Sassuolo. Alfred Duncan was in action for Sassuolo. He played 83 minutes before he was substituted later in that game. The game ended in a 2-2 draw for both teams. They shared the spoils on the days. Alfred Duncan played the last international friendlies for Ghana, and I think he's a player who will most likely make it to AFCON 2019. He has been a regular mainstay in this Sassuolo side, and I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. I move on to Germany, and SC Paderborn took on SV Sandhausen, and the game ended in a 1-1 draw for Paderborn. You all know we have Bernard Tekpete. Bernard Tekpete, the 61st minute sub. He was a 65th minute, so I came on in the 65th minute for Paderborn. And Christopher Ntrieche played 76 minutes for Paderborn before he was substituted in the game as well. It was a great game for them. I think a 1-1 draw is a fair result on the day. And Tekpete and Christopher Ntrieche, who is a German Ghanaian, he has chosen to play for Germany. So my next game has to do with Augsburg versus Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim beat Augsburg convincingly 4-0. Yes, Kasim Nuhu was not in the squad at all. He was not in the 18-man squad that traveled to Augsburg, and it ended in a 4-0 win for Hoffenheim. To my next game, and it's in France, and it's Stade de Reims versus Lille. No Baba Rahman. Baba Rahman was in action for Stade Rennes. He's played 90 minutes. We all know Baba Rahman has had a torrid season in Germany after his move from Chelsea. Chelsea loaned him out to Schalke. Schalke could not utilize him because of his injury woes in 2017, most importantly. But Baba Rahman was back in action for his team, and it was great to see him back in action for Stade Rennes. He has been playing frequently now, making a name for himself and trying to get himself back into the Black Star squad. I think selection for AFCON 2019 is really going to be tough for the coach, because some of the players are really stepping up their game. Baba Rahman was involved in this game. It ended in a 1-1 draw between them and Lille in the French League. He played the full 90 minutes, and that's a positive note for him. I moved to Belgium, and Genk took on Gent, and Genk were winners 2-1. Joseph Edu was not in the squad. He was an unused substitute. But Joseph Paintel came on in the 75th minute as a sub. This time he could not find the back of the net as last week. He was a 75th minute sub, getting a run out on the day as his team won 2-1. I moved to Turkey, and Caleb Ekuban's Trabzonspor took on Antalyaspor, and my goodness, Caleb Ekuban found the back of the net again. Yes, the Ghanaian doesn't know when to stop. I think this is really proving his worth. I think this guy has already booked his place to AFCON 2019. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. Caleb Ekuban has booked his place, in my opinion, to AFCON 2019. And yes, they beat Antalyaspor 4-1, and Caleb Ekuban found the back of the net in this game. So MKJ Angarakuku versus Fenerbahce is my next game I'm going to look at, and Andre Ayew was a 46th minute sub. His team shared the spoils with Angarakuku, and it ended in a 1-1 draw. Andre Ayew played a part. He played a full second half, 46th minute substitute. He played a full second half and couldn't help his team get all the 3 points. They shared the spoils 1-1. Now Sivasspor took on Kayserispor. Kayserispor beat Sivasspor 3-1. AZERBAIJAN, as we all know from last week's news I brought you, he's still out injured. Yes, AZERBAIJAN is still out injured, and he could not take part in this game as well. Now to my final two games, and it's Dalian Yifang versus Tianjin Teda. Yes, Emmanuel Boateng, we all know, is with Dalian Yifang. Unfortunately, this time around, he was not in the 18-man squad. Yes, Emmanuel Boateng was not in the 18-man squad. Frank Champong is with Tianjin Teda, and he gave an assist, played a full 90 minutes for his team as they beat Dalian Yifang 2-1. My last game is about Michael Essien. Michael Essien made his debut for his club in Azerbaijan, SAIBAL FK. Yes, he made his debut, but it was a loss. They lost 3-1 to Sabah. You can see Michael Essien here being substituted into the game in the 65th minute. He had a good run out. Michael Essien is still playing football at the age of 36, and it's a great thing to see. I'm happy for Michael Essien. He's having fun and with his team here in Azerbaijan. Remember, he'll be holding a coaching role there too, and trying to get his coaching badges as well as playing football as well. So that has been it for today. Who were you most happy for? Albert Adoma and Caleb Ekuban found the back of the net, with Michael Essien making his debut. Who was your top performer for the weekend? Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments box. That has been it for today. Performances of Ghanaian players abroad. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day. Have a lovely week.